Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Pariyantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Om. Today, for the first time, we will open the original textbook Tattvabodha. Until now, we were looking into the translations. Let us see what Tattvabodha, the original work, is. Much of it is a repetition of what I did in the last class. But here, the source book is the original book, and I will be focusing on the original Sanskrit. Whenever we study our scriptures, you will see the importance of some basic Sanskrit knowledge because the interpretation now becomes more clear. Tattvabodha is authored by Shankaracharya. It gives the essence of all Vedanta, and it also, the various terminology of Vedanta is very nicely explained. It is called a Prakarana Grantha. A Prakarana Grantha is a human composition for us to understand the Mula Grantha. The Mula Grantha are the original Vedas, in particular the Vedanta or the Upanishad. This is how Tattvabodha starts. Shankaracharya, who composed this, begins with a adoration to his guru, and it goes like this. Vasudevendra yogendram natva jnanam pradam gurum mumukshunam hitarthaya Tattvabodho vidhiyate. Vasudevendra yogendra. Whenever you use the word yogendram, it means the pinnacle or the king of all the yogis. The reference is for Vasudeva, his guru. Natva, Natva means I prostrate, I do namaste. To whom? Jnanam pradam guru, the one who bestows, one who gives us knowledge. To whom? Mumukshuthwam hitarthaya. Hitarthaya is for the benefit of those who are yearning for moksha. Tattvabhodho abhidhiyate. Tattvabodha. Tattva means truth. The knowledge of the truth is going to be expounded, is going to be delivered. So this is how the original Sanskrit begins the opening words. After the initial prayer, the opening words go like this. Sadhana chatustaya sampannadikarinam moksha sadhana bhutam tattvaviveka prakaram vakshami. So I am going to teach you. The word vakshami means first person. I am going to teach you. What am I going to teach you? Tattvaviveka prakaram. All these words will be explained. Tattva means God. Viveka means discrimination. Sadhana chatustaya sampannadikarinam. Those fourfold qualifications for those who are seekers of moksha. This is how the original word goes. Sadhana chatustaya sampannadikar, for those who are endowed with the fourfold qualifications. Moksha sadhana bhutam, the means of liberation. Tattvaviveka prakaram, the mode of inquiry into the nature of reality. Vakshamaha, we shall teach. This is how the teacher begins. And the opening sentence is a question. So the whole of the Tattvabodha is like a dialogue between a student coming to the teacher, and the student is asking, Sadhana Chatustaya Kim? What is this Sadhana Chatustaya? And the teacher gives a long sentence. Nityanitya-vastu-viveka iha amurta phalabhoga viragaha shamadhi shakta sampatti Mumukshuthwam che iti. So the teacher will say the fourfold qualifications are Viveka, which means discrimination, Vairagyam, which means dispassion, Mumukshuthwam means the desire for moksha, and shakta sampathihi means the sixfold discipline. What are the sixfold discipline? Shama, or mind mastery, dhamah, or mastery of the sense organs, uparama means to turn within, thithiksha, or mental toughness, shraddha means absolute trust, and samaadhanam means the focusing capacity. We continue the question answer session. So the student continues and says, Nityanitya-vastu-viveka kaha. What is this distinction between that which is permanent and that which is impermanent? So the teacher replies, Nitya-vastu ekam brahma. Nitya, the permanent thing, is only one, that is Brahman. Tad vyatiriktam sarvam anityam. Everything else is impermanent. I am Nitya-Anitya-vastu-viveka. And this is the distinction between that which is permanent and that which is impermanent. So what is viveka, or the ability to discriminate? Remember, the word discrimination normally is taken in a negative sense. But the word discrimination, even in medical language, when a person is very sensitive, you're able to make out a distinction in small grades. That is what we are looking at. Here it means right judgment, right understanding. And the right understanding is Nitya-Anitya-vastu-viveka. What is that which is permanent and what is that impermanent? Tattvabodha says, Brahman alone is real and permanent. Everything else other than Brahman is unreal and impermanent. Does it mean that this world is useless? Certainly not. The world is wonderful for us for education. It is an opportunity for us for service. It is an opportunity for us to growth. However, for entertainment, for growth, for service, turn to the world. But if you want lasting peace, security, and happiness, we need to turn to Brahman or God. And this understanding and being convinced about this, and that is how the student is taught. This is called Nitya-Anitya-vastu-viveka. The student continues the question to the teacher, Viragaha kaha. What is this thing called viragaha? And this is the words of the teacher. Iha swarga bokeshu icha rahitvam. Iha, here, and swarga, that means hereafter, bogeshu. We need to fulfill our desires. One who does not have that desire. That means even though I have earned a lot in this world, even though I have learned a lot of punya, I have no desire to encash this, because that is called dispassion or viraga. Viraga also means free from strong likes and dislikes. The word raga means strong likes. Viraga means free from strong likes. So there is no need to encash the benefits from the accomplishments in this world or hereafter. It does not mean giving up all your responsibility, certainly not. Dispassion or viraga comes from discrimination. Once I know that Brahman is the only reality and the world is only a seeming reality like a rainbow or a mirage, I'm not going to depend on appearances for my peace, security, and happiness. If this I am very clear of, then I have a glimpse or an understanding of what is viraga. The student continues with a simple question. Mumukshuthwam kim? What is this thing called Mumukshuthwam? So the teacher replies, Moksho me bhuyat iti icha. That desire to attain moksha is called Mumukshuthwam. To explain further, Mumukshuthwam means the desire for freedom. Where has the bondage come? Whenever I depend upon the world, whenever I depend upon anything anitya, I have a certain bondage. Mumukshuthwam means a strong desire to be free from samsara. The student continues, and the question is, shama adi sadhana sampathihi. What is this sixfold wealth? And the teacher replies, shamo dhamah uparati thithiksha shraddha samaadhanam cha iti. So these are the sixfold qualifications: shama, dhamah, uparama, thithiksha, shraddha, samadhana. Now the student continues, shama ka? And the answer is manonigraha. That means control of the mind. Shama also means mind mastery, tranquility of mind. A mind that is free from all stresses and strains. And when a person is free from all stress and strain, you have the ability to regulate your mind and to focus your mind on whatever is required. The student continues, dhamah kaha? Chakshur adi bahya indriya nigraha. Eyes, etc. The sense organs that focus on the external, the ability to control, that is called dhamah. In English, it is sensory mastery, directing our sensory organs on the chosen field. See only what is proper, hear only that which is proper, and so on. The student continues, uparamaha kaha? What is this word called uparama? So the teacher replies, swadharma anushtanam eva. The ability to be focused on what I am supposed to do according to my ashrama and according to my varna. So our varna and ashrama clearly determines, that means our roles in life are very clearly defined. And if I'm able to focus on that, that what is called as uparama. Uparama is Vedantic time management. For a student of Vedanta, time is very important. We know our human life is extremely short. We also know that before this body drops, I should be able to get Brahma Vidya. All of us have so many worldly responsibilities. Stephen Covey has written a book called First Things First. What is very important should not be at the expense of that which is less important. My worldly activities are required for my basic survival and for the roles that I have to play. But however, that is not my primary responsibility. I am here only to fulfill my Parama Purushartha or Moksha. And if I decide that is important, everything else is less important. Of course, I have to work my time in such a way that I work on Artha, Kama, Dharma, all right. But then I skinch my time so that I get more and more time for Parama Purushartha. And when a person begins to withdraw from what is called, this is not a truly English word, extrovertedness. That means focusing on the activities outside, because the real treasures are within me. That means it is, the wrong word is introverted. There is a nice verse which comes in the Kathopanishad, where, uh, where, uh, where the creator, Swayambhuhu, the Swayambhuhu has done something really wrong. He says he has focused all our sense organs outside. Paranchakani Vyatharnat Swayambhuhu. Swayambhuhu, Paranchakarni Vyatharnat. He has done something wrong. He has focused all our sense organs outside when the real treasure is within. Paranchakarni Vyatharnat Swayambhuhu. So the courageous one, Kaschit Dhiraha, will be able to avrita chakshu, turn all the sense organ inwards. That is called uparama. The student continues, thithiksha kaha? What is this thithiksha? And so this teacher continues, sitoshna sukha dukkadi sahishnutvam. The ability to be able to handle heat, cold, sukha dukkha with a sense of equanimity or mental toughness. We have a nice verse which I very much like in the Bhagavad Gita on thithiksha. Matra sparshasu kaunteya Sitoshna Sukhadukkadaya Agama Pahino Anityaha Tam Thithikshasva Bharata. Then the teacher student continues. So what is thithiksha? I have already explained that. Then shraddha ki drishi. What is this thing called shraddha? And the teacher explains Guru Vedanta Vakyadishu Vishwasaha Shraddha. That means whatever my Guru says, whatever the words of the Vedanta should be taken as gospel truth, spelt by God. About that, I have no doubt whatsoever. If it does not appeal to me, for example, the scriptures will say, Brahma Satyam, that which I cannot see is the only reality, and the world around me is mithya, which I can absolutely see. I cannot understand that. But then, pending my own understanding, I believe, although it is not my experience, I have shraddha, I have trust that what my guru and the teacher says is true. So it is not a blind faith, but it is a non-critical approach, giving the benefit of the teacher until I clearly understand. Once the student has shraddha, then it is like having a sixth sense organ, which is very valuable. And finally, this last question that the student has is samadhanam kim? What is this samadhanam? And the teacher gives a one-word answer. Chitta ekagrata, the single pointed mind, the ability to focus on what is ahead of us, being 100% there. So this is what is called. And then finally, this is not in the original text. This is only for us. Swamiji has given us original information because the original Tattvabodha will not tell us how do we get these qualifications. Viveka, Vairagya, and Mumukshuthwam is available to us by doing Karma Yoga. And by doing Upasana Yoga, you get Shama, Adi, Shakta, Sampathihi. Swamiji also insists that just that will not do. A student of Vedanta should have ethical and moral values. And this is how this chapter, the introductory chapter, concludes. Yetad sadhana chatustayam tatastatva viveka adhikarino bhavanti. And that is how you become a viveki purusha. You get all the qualifications. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha.